somebody contacted me who recycles or upcycles or repurposes old console TVs into dog beds, and I know how much the vintage television community likes the upcycling of vintage console TVs into dog beds, but I have little control over that, and I'm not going to get all emo over someone else's idea of doing good with something that's worthless junk they find on the street. So the person that recycles these TVs basically contacted me and said, I have all these guts out of all these old TVs, and I'm looking for something to do with it other than put it in the e-waste, take it to the county e-waste recycler. And she sent me some pictures, and I said, yeah, I'm interested in that. And there's also an old set there that they couldn't use. So this is my kind of outside television storage area, and these are just things I've been finding on the street and that are low on my list. This is pretty much all EOL stuff right here, except the one in the trash bag. This is a Radio Shack, a little portable. This is an RCA. And the reason why I'm digging in here is I want to get this, because I said, hey, I got a set I EOL'd and I was too lazy to put the cabinet in the dumpster. Maybe you could use it as a dog bed. So this was the GE, I think this is a CTC 168 or something. I don't know, I saved the chassis, but we EOL'd this during, I think, the last Hillary-Trump debate.
Why should we cooperate with the Americans and the terrorists?
So yeah, this is just, you know, particle board, nothing. So if they can make a dog bed out of this thing, you know, and someone can get some use out of it, it's on a swivel base. You know, I have absolutely no use for this, and someone can get some enjoyment out of it, then by all means, please use it. Because I was just going to break it up and burn it, or put it in the dumpster. I'm going to pull those speakers out. Okay, I'm going to get this in the truck, and we'll get some footage on the road, and then we'll go through the vintage stuff that I harvest. It's downtown LA right there you're looking at, through the fog of dirty mist. You know, there's a lot of star chasers that would spend a lot of money to live down in this hellhole. A lot of those are residential now, aren't they? And it's all about that zip code, you know, that 90011 or whatever it is.
That's where we're finding them all.
Recycle, you know,
exactly.
Stuff out anyway. So.
Okay, so you ready?
Yeah. I'm
okay.
ready. Yeah.
Because we never get the other side of this. So you built this, what we're looking at right here.
Yes, I did.
Okay. It's actually very cool.
Thank you.
There is a small group of vintage television collectors. Mm-hmm. And they are quite purists. And when they see something like this, these pictures end up all over social media with 500 comments, and there's like 2 or 3 vintage television forums that I no longer even deal with because there's so much drama. But, okay, first of all, were you aware of that?
Not until after I started doing this.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I just recently became aware that there's a whole group of people that would hate that this was transformed into a dog bed.
Okay, what would you say to that?
You know, I found, to be honest, every one that I've ever found, we found on the side of the street, just in like with the trash, and it was honestly going to get picked up, going to get picked up with the garbage truck and or brought to e-waste. And I hate to see things wasted like that. So we kind of saved it and gave it new life. And my dogs love this, and I have a few friends who have them now that love them, and it kind of gives it a new purpose.
So you think maybe the hype is over exaggerated of the kind of fanaticism that
People are entitled to their own opinion, for sure. But I think there are enough TVs like this that probably end up in the landfill and junkyard that we don't have to all kind of fight over it.
Right. Well, I just wanted to include the other side.
Found it like a block away from here, just on the side of the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just found this on the street out here in LA?
Yep,
Huh?
found it on the street. Just like a block and a half from here. It was just sitting on the side of the road with a box of records on it. And
John Denver.
the two of us managed to get it in his truck. It weighs about 500 pounds. And it had the keys and everything attached. So we're eventually going to get it up in working order if we can. So
Solid state, so it's not that. Yeah, Seaberg solid state. There is probably actually a bigger interest in these than old TVs.
oh yeah,
So you should be able to find somebody who can fix this for you.
this is not being turned into a dog bed
Right.
for anyone else.
It would probably make a good refrigerator, ice cream.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's neat to see all the old music.
Does it actually have the records in it still?
There was a whole box that we have in the back right now of all the records. Yeah, so they were out of it, but they came with the records.
3 plays for $0.25. Well, that tells you what era it was. Very cool.
He can fix anything. He's a MacGyver of electronic repair, pretty much. If it can't go, if he can't fix it, he can't fix it. Then it can't be made to work by anybody. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, this one got necked pretty good.
Is that another street one, or?
So you didn't want the chassis, you just wanted the cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah, a friend actually found this for me, and I thought it was really. We have one like this in our house. That's
RCA
that's stuff
XL100.
we're not doing anything with. We just
Yeah.
like it. But yeah, I didn't really know what to do with the chassis.
Now this one here, this is an Admiral. Is this just a street find too?
Yeah.
Metal.
This is the kind of thing I would probably keep. See, this one's all tube here. In there. That one, this one.
It's in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, it could be made to work again. I don't need any more of this stuff. How about this? Is this XL100? Is that one from the street?
Yep.
Wow, LA is still.
Oh, they're all over the place. Yeah. This is one I just got it.
So you're still finding these all over the place up here.
Well, I mean, few and far between.
How about the plastic ones?
This one is plastic.
No, I mean
Oh,
the
you mean, oh yeah.
tabletops.
Oh yeah. Those are everywhere.
But like the hundreds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch those.
You can't use them.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I've
big
seen some people make them into pet beds, and it's cool, but yeah, those are everywhere.
All right, we're gonna aid in this crime, right? We're gonna assume that this is.
We do not discharge.
Oh, we do not discharge. Okay. This is exactly the same as that one I gave you. Exactly the same set. It's like a. Is that plugged in there? I can't see that.
It's zip tied.
Oh, the yoke is plugged in up here. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so there the chassis is at. Okay, now to get the speakers out, we need a 1/4" nut driver, and to get the CRT out, we need a. Or you got the CRT
Screws
loose.
are out already. You want a hand with it?
Nah.
I don't know, man.
So much for safety glasses, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this admiral, we are going to
Barter.
25. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can maybe work out a trade or something for this, because
Just save it.
yeah, I hate to see an all tube color set go to the wastebasket, but I gutted this one, or yeah, because the CRT is broken, so we got the speaker here. That's got the coil on the back of it, or the transformer. And then this is junk.
It's another triad.
That's junk. That's a triad too. So that's a replacement.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't fit.
And then we grabbed this stuff. This is a triad yoke. The scrappers, of course, cut all the. Can we take a look inside this one?
Yeah, sure.
Just for, it looks like this one got neck too.
This one?
XL100, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an RCA that we're gonna strip the chassis out of. It looks like it might have come from Indianapolis.
With the removable gun assembly, ready for easy access and replacement.
We're just gonna take what's left of it, chassis anyway, and then the cabinet will be repurposed into some furniture.
So how often do you find these consoles out on the street?
So I was looking for one for a few months, actually. And a friend, I put a plea on Facebook, and a friend found one in the valley. And so we went, and that was the first one. And then since then, probably one every 3 months.
Okay.
This one's got a pretty big flyback on it.
Yeah, I know. Once you find one, they start finding you.
Exactly, yeah.
And
Driving to work, and I found one. Wow, there's a lot of stuff.
well, look at this speaker. Let me see this. What kind of fancy design is that no one would ever see?
Huh.
Do you think we should get this chassis, Chris? This has got the bonded yoke, I believe. This yoke is not. Is it replaceable or is it bonded?
Feels like
It's got a
stuck on or
screw
something.
here,
And one here too.
but 25 VFNP22. Not much likelihood of this having a charge when it's broken. Oh, easy removable chassis too.
It's 8 o'clock. CBS News, I'm Gary Nunn. Hollywood is mourning the death and remembering Debbie Reynolds, who died today at the age of 84. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
This may have been a case of someone simply dying of a broken heart. Around 32 hours after Carrie Fisher died, her mother, actress Debbie Reynolds, also died. Reynolds' son Todd says the stress of Carrie Fisher's death was too much for his mother. He says at one point on Wednesday, Debbie Reynolds said to him, "I want to be with Carrie," and then he says she was gone.
Robert Leo Holtzman has died. If his name is unfamiliar, his invention probably is. Holtzman invented the red Solo Cup. He worked for the company founded by his father for almost 60 years. He was 84. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
This is KNX 1070 News Radio. Good evening.
Red Solo Cup, you're more than just plastic. You're more than amazing. You're more than fantastic. And believe me that I'm not the least bit sarcastic when I look at you and say, Red Solo Cup, you're not just a cup. No, God, no. You're my friend.
All right, I brought home a truck bed load full of. So here we have. This is a. I think this is that CTC 168, and then this here. Bring this. This was the CTC. What was this?
Not sure.
Is this the one you were going to pull the tag off the wall of it? Was it a 105?
Yeah, wasn't it 105, 6, and 7?
Right.
There it is there. There's the model number on the plastic.
Well, look at that solder joint. It looks like some part was replaced there at some time. Okay, then we got a picture bulb here. And I grabbed this because this is a Delta gun. And let's see. Show the tag there, Chris.
It looks like a rebuild.
25 VEHP 22, made in USA. And this looks, I bet this tests good.
Maybe it's not a rebuild.
Because, no, it has to be because it's...
It says it has a 2-year warranty. That's why I thought, because it's there a 2-year warranty.
See, new electron gun.
Yes.
Other components may or may not be used.
So I wasn't
Look at the
wrong.
day code, 80, 1980.
I wasn't wrong for once.
You're right. This is probably garbage. This is too modern. Let me see if we can get a number. Yeah, let's have a look at that. This is old.
Interesting chassis with multiple modules here interconnected with these pins. So obviously you could pull part of it out.
This looks kind of Zenith-y.
Here it is. 528.
Sears.
Silver tone, right?
Silver tone.
Chicago, which means could it have been made by Admiral?
Well, 528. We just need to know who that is.
Warwick?
I don't know. 80s. Late 70s, early 80s stuff. Okay, let's come over here. This is Zenith. And some of the parts are useful off of this stuff, like the horizontal output transistors and the flybacks maybe. This right here, what was that, a CTC 81 you said? This chassis. Welcome to the land of non-stop sirens and helicopters and
TC 81.
CTC 81.
Yeah, it's all about bench warrants and.
That's right, revolving door prisons that we have here in California, thanks to the voting block, the informed voting block that we have out here. This was the chassis out of that And this one was necked, and I kind of finished it off. Most of these sets, when she finds them, are necked. You know, people are pretty careless when they put something out on the curb. Okay, let's talk about...
They're getting the yoke. They're getting the yoke for the copper. It's usually
right.
A homeless person, you know, can get a sandwich or something with the money from the yoke.
So let's talk about this. This is a Capehart, and this is kind of interesting because, well, they took the yoke, obviously, but the CRT, the gun does not look all purpley, so it might be okay. And it looks like all 5 pins are actually there.
So we can take the cap off of another CRT that's dead and perhaps make this one.
Look at how they tried to get to the flyback, but they didn't have tools.
Yeah, typical homeless person's
right.
problem. And they were probably drunk too at the time.
What's interesting about this is this has an AM/FM radio, and it's got a mix of different vintage tubes. It's got some octal stuff, and it's also got some 7-pin miniature in there, which that is interesting. Radio TV Phononut did a video on a kit radio, and it had a mix kind of like that, but this has the slug tuned IF transformers. Okay, the speaker is here.
There's none of that weird glue that he was finding.
Right,
Awesome.
no Chinese discharge in these holding them together. This is semen-free construction. Okay, so the Capehart, let's try and zoom in on that. Okay, so we got an AM/FM, old AM/FM. What year would you say this thing is? The record player has been dissolved, probably a
53 or so.
Couple grams of steel and copper in that. It's the problem with using flashlights. You either underlight or overlight. Do we have a model number on this at all? Hazel. Thought it would be cool to kind of put bookends on this video and make this the last video of 2016 if I can get it uploaded in time. And I woke up at 0400, so I figured I would go through and do a little bit of this before I edit the video down. So we're just gonna kind of check the CRT out. Oh wow, look at that. That's the cutoff. That's just the cutoff. So let's adjust the cutoff on all of these down there to where it says gun balance. Emissions. Or this line right here was basically a brand new CRT. So this CRT is like, it's a rebuilt, but very, very little use on it. So what was that, a 25 VEHP 22? I don't know if that's a 25 inch or a 23 inch. I do have some Zeniths that could use this. Okay, taking a look at the AM/FM tuner out of the Capehart, this actually looks like a really very decent unit. You see it's got a 3-gang tuning capacitor, so it's obviously got an R front end, and it's got several tuning caps there to dial it in. It does have the wafer type, mica wafer type IF cans with the tunable slug, which I've been having a lot of problems with lately. It does use a push-pull output, and the good thing is the the audio output transformer is still actually here. I thought maybe the scrappers had got it. Sometimes they mount them down here and that, you know, on the speaker right there, and thought maybe the copper scrappers had got that, but it's all here. And there's a few bumblebees in here which need to go, like those right there. This 0047s right there, that actually could be 00047. It's like yellow, purple, red. Here it might be yellow, purple, orange. It's hard to tell under these crappy LEDs, but there's the audio output transformer right there. So this should be a pretty hefty unit. This should this actually looks pretty modern because it's got a couplet down in there, that orange thing, and a lot of disc capacitors. This could be late 50s. I don't know. I don't see anything there that looks... All right, the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to inspect this and see if any of the pins were broken off. And if the pins are all there, what I was considering doing is, this is the silver tone, taking the, I can, that socket's pretty toast, but I was considering salvaging that socket and putting it on that set. So looking at this thing, I noticed that there is one pin broken off. I don't know if this thing's gonna focus, but it's down here. There is enough of a nub that I could probably solder onto it. But looking at this thing, you can see how the scrappers cut all the wire off there, where that went to the yoke. Actually, that was the wire to the CRT. This is the wire to the yoke. And they actually got the power transformer out of this thing. So this thing is junk. This is, that CRT could probably be salvaged. I might try and test it just for entertainment value. I have a feeling it's good. It's supposed to have a ion trap on it. You can tell the gun is cut at an angle. But I'm interested just for the fun of it in getting this to work. We're gonna have to put all new wires on this. Of course, you know, it's really damaged. That looks like it was the power there. I have no idea what that was. Actually, even the radio might be toast. I'm looking at this and you can see this wafer switch right here was broken when the scrappers ripped the cord out of the back. So I'm not quite sure. These wires, this might all be too far gone to waste the time on. So this CRT here, see I clipped on there? This CRT is good, which would kind of be indicated by the fact that there's little to no discoloration of the rear part of the gun assembly there. It's not all blue. So this CRT is good. It's very good. You know, I actually have another Capehart somewhere. It's one of these. It's a little older. It's got a new CRT in it too, but it's only got an AM radio. So I think I might actually try and fix this. I think that would be kind of fun. I think the back of this wafer switch is part of the, maybe the phono connects to here. Part of the phono. You know, when you put it in phono mode, then the phonograph, the automatic changer, will turn this whole thing on and off. So I think that's part of that. So good CRT here, except the broken pin, but I think I'll just shelf it for now, and if it comes up that I would happen to need this tube, I have to figure out what it is. It says, for replacement use, Farnsworth 170 AR only. I have no idea what a 170 AR is. So I have to figure out what that tube is. But hey, look at that, it's right up on new. It's probably a rebuild. Man, too bad the scrappers got to this thing, because this one would have been a definite candidate for a good working set. Except the cabinet is so trashed.